NCCo viewers, and welcome to Newcastle County's Fix Up of the Week. I'm Norman Spector, and we're here in the Newcastle area at one of the NSP houses that are ready to get on the market. It's like all NSP houses, it's new inside and out. John Prokopchek, Newcastle County's NSP manager and construction manager, is waiting inside with a very special guest. So let's go on inside and see what's going on. We're here now with John Prokopchek, and I want to introduce you to our special guest, Carol Quattro, who is the listing agent for this property. Hello, Carol.
Hello,
welcome to Newcastle County's Fix Up of the Week.
Thank you.
John, the property, from what I understand, was in really bad shape when we first bought it. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. This property, we've been working on this one for a while, and you never had the opportunity to see it before we started or during the construction process. We're nearly done. We have some punch list items. But this had some serious problems when we look at it, and by serious I mean structural. It had good bones, and it was, you know, a great rehab project. But just to give you a little idea, we had a tarp over the roof, for one thing, and a hole in the roof right over here in the living room. And the entire hardwood floor in this living room section right here, or at least half of it, was all torn up and all weather and water damaged. So that presented a big challenge. Also, we had the rooms broken up. I mean, what you're looking at now, I'm standing in what once was a dining room. There was a wall right in front of me, and over here off to the side, there was another wall. So you had dining room, living room, and then there was a small galley-style kitchen over here. And what we did, as we do on so many of our homes, is we decided to open up the floor plan. We took a couple of walls out. The small kitchen that was located over on the other side here, which we'll walk through, I hope, and we put a kitchen right here, and we opened up this whole living space. We gutted it. We gutted the entire house. As I have said before, we do lead assessments. We do asbestos assessments, and in this particular case, the environmental review report indicated that we should look and see if there was some mold action, because we had the water from the roof coming in, so there was some concern. So those are all things we look at. There was no lead. Turns out there was asbestos in some of the wall board, which we were going to gut anyway. And of course, we just, as due diligence to be certain, we had a lead remediator come in and do the whole structure, and we did air clearance for the mold. So the house was virtually cleared in that respect. One other big problem is on this particular living room wall here. When we gutted it down, it was there was some water damage, and we had to replace the entire stud wall. In doing that, the sheathing that was on the outside of the exterior studs was also deteriorated. So we took the whole wall out, and guess what? We had a brick wall out there, and it wasn't attached to anything. So basically we had to re-stud it, and we didn't sheath it, but we had to do some special attachments. We had to contact an engineer. We had to make sure the brick wall didn't flop over on the outside, and we did some spray foam insulation to act as not only to help hold the brick and secure it, but also as somewhat of a vapor barrier, moisture barrier. So that was a lot of work. That was the biggest part of the problem. The structure we had here, and as I said, we had the deterioration and we had the holes in the roof. But as you can see, we're almost done. We have a few things we need to get, and we'll take you on through the house as we go, but that's it for right here.
Carol, thank you so much for coming.
No
I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit.
Okay.
I apologize now, but the marketplace, we want to get this thing listed ASAP.
Okay.
Too early, too late? What's the market like out there?
Actually, now is a good time because we do have a lack of inventory, and we have a lot of buyers out looking, just not enough homes.
Okay. Neighborhood?
Very nice neighborhood. I've sold quite a few homes in here, and I've never had anybody complain. It's a beautiful place to live.
As we saw, we came in and actually the streets were plowed, so I'm sure there's a civic association here and everything else. Okay, let's take a look at the house. I feel the heart of the home is the kitchen. What do you think, Carol?
I agree. It's a very nice kitchen. They've done a lot of nice work. The stainless is beautiful.
And we got a refrigerator coming, correct?
It's coming. It'll go right there with the ice maker side by side. It's on its way.
Okay.
But one of the few things we have to catch up with.
And one thing we do, Carol, is we put hardwood floors wherever we possibly can. Do you think there are positive, negative, or
definitely a positive, especially with a lot of people having allergies now. They're wanting to get away from the carpet, and the hardwood is a beautiful flooring.
Great. All right, let's take a tour of the house, John.
Yeah, well, on the subject of the hardwood, since we just mentioned it, this was original hardwood floor. And in many cases, as you know, we install new floors, new hardwood when the substrate or the underlying floor is in poor condition. But as I mentioned, we had water damage here, and most of the floor was refinishable, but kudos to the guy they had come in and do the floor, because he was able to replace damaged boards. Then he resanded the existing floor, and you can get a shot of this floor. It looks really nice. He made it all look like, you know, one beautiful floor. So
okay, we're going to talk a little bit about the rest of the house, John. This is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath.
right.
Nice sized living room, bay window. Now, you put a lot of casement windows also in here.
That's right.
Is that for efficiency, or is it just for the egress issue?
Well, it's primarily the egress issue, but nonetheless, they are Energy Star windows, insulated glass, the same as the double hungs, but it is because of the egress, and I'll tell you why. We didn't want to have to, if you go in any of the bedrooms, there's brick on the exterior. In order for us to increase the size of the windows to meet the egress, we would have had to cut brick on the outside. And whenever we've tried to do that, or when I've tried to do that, you never make the brick look as nice as the original. So, by going to a casement window, you don't have the double hung, just in one big casement, meets the required square footage for egress.
Great, great, great. Now, in all the bedrooms and in all the rooms, we put ceiling fans and ceiling lights, correct?
Well, ceiling fan light.
Okay.
Fan light, like you hear with the light attached to the fan. Every room has a fan, living room has a fan.
Okay, great. And we put some recessed lighting in the kitchen area?
Just in the kitchen area, we have it right here.
Great. Now, with a ceiling fan, Carol.
Yes.
Most of the new houses now that are being built don't have the ceiling fans in them.
Correct.
Is it a plus to put them in there and minus to put them in there? I like going into a bedroom, flicking on a light, and it comes on, not worrying about where that outlet is to turn that bedroom light on.
And I agree, and most buyers are the same. They would like to have a ceiling fan or at least a light in each room, so when they go in, they can just flick the light on.
Now, for efficiency too, I just learned this about a fan. In the winter time, you want the fan on low and pulling up, so the heat is going circulating down the walls, and you're circulating the heat. Now, in the summertime, you want it exactly the opposite. You want it high, shooting down, so that cool air is shooting up and around. So that's for efficiency itself too, where you bring up the thermostat, whether it's hot or cold.
Right.
So it's a great idea. Okay, let's talk about the bathroom. We have 2 full baths and a half bath in the basement. Now the master bath is it's not tile, correct? It has a
it's a 3-foot shower unit in the master bath. That's all. Fiberglass.
Okay.
Fiberglass sidewalls and a tub and a base, no tub. However, the other bathroom is a steel tub with tile right to the ceiling, like we always do. You know, on the walls of the inside.
Okay, and Carol, the main bath with the tile, I think that's a selling feature. What do you
it
think?
definitely is.
Okay.
It definitely is.
And tile is not a detriment, because sometimes people are afraid of having to keep it clean and things like that.
No, not at all. It actually makes the bathroom look very nice and looks updated.
Okay,
It's
great.
very nice.
Well, okay, we also have a 3-season porch, John.
Oh,
Would that take a lot of work to fix up, or no?
Well, the porch out back, the 3-season porch, that's the name he gave it. I guess that's accurate because it doesn't have heat, but it does have windows and it's all sealed up, and actually you could put heat back there and it would be 4-season. But anyway, it was a patio with, you know, it had a block wall coming up about 2 or 3 feet. And there were no windows. I don't believe there were windows back there, but we came up with the idea that what it would be to enclose it, whether that might add, you know, to the resale value. We just decided we checked to make sure that there were footers in place and it wasn't just a do-it-yourselfer back there. And it was, so you'll see that. We put the vinyl on the walls, vinyl on the ceilings in there, and nice storm door on the back.
And it goes out to a really nice sized backyard,
right,
completely refenced.
Yep, we refenced the entire yard with the privacy fence.
Okay, let's go back to the porch a little bit. To make it a 4-season porch, baseboard heat, or is there a self-contained, I guess a wood or a pellet burning stove?
Well, you could do that. You could do a pellet type stove. This is gas here. I believe we have gas. So you could always run a line and put a little gas standing fireplace unit or build one in, or you could just get small space heaters, electric. But it's nowadays, you know, utility heat is so available.
What do you think, Carol? Do we just raise the price or what?
You certainly make it so that buyers are more interested in the property.
Great, great, great. Also, we have a full basement downstairs, correct?
Right,
we do. Why don't we go down there a little bit?
Well, before we go down in the basement, what I do want to mention is about energy efficiency. We often talk over that because we're looking at how nice the place looks. But all of these NSP homes are insulated completely, thoroughly. We put R15 in the walls, R38 in the attic, and in some cases, when we have crawl spaces, we'll do the floor. Not to mention, all the doors are Energy Star rated. They're insulated doors. They got great weather stripping. We put storm doors on all of the homes, front and rear door. They're not on this particular one yet. They're on the punch list. But all of the windows are Energy Star rated windows. So we got the low E glass, we got the double insulated glass, we got the argon gas inside, and the UV treated glass. So it's as good as it can get, and we fully insulate around them. The furnaces, no matter whether we have electric or gas or heat pump, they're always they're Energy Star, 90 plus for the gas, and this particular one is gas. I think it's 93% AFU, and so that's a high efficiency furnace, and you're going to get more heat for the dollar. Actually, the way I always look at it, and the easiest way to look at it as a consumer is, if it's a 93%, that means you're getting 93 cents worth of heat out of $1. A lot of the older homes, mine included, is an 80% furnace. It's an old style one. This particular unit, we put the tankless water heater in there, and we've talked about that many times. That's a real big energy saver over time. All the appliances are Energy Star qualified, so that's a big plus. So the goal is to have not only a beautiful home, but it's to have an energy efficient home that'll last you a long time. So.
Great. While we're still on the first floor,
yes.
The main floor, I think one of the attributes you did was put that master bath in that master bedroom. I think that's a plus. It's a private area for them. Yeah. Now that has a shower stall, and it has a sink and a toilet. And the main bath has the steel tub with the tile ceilings. What do you think, Carol? The master bath and master bedroom, what do you think is the selling point?
Definitely selling point. Many home buyers are looking for a private bathroom that they don't share with the kids. So that's a perfect addition. Okay.
The other thing we didn't mention was we have a first floor laundry area.
Yeah.
Which is great because no one likes carrying the laundry basket up and down those steps.
Well, that laundry area actually used to be the kitchen. Oh. It was a very small galley kitchen. I would get a shot of that laundry area, but it was a very small kitchen, and then, as I said, we had walls here. So when we look at the floor plan, the existing thing, when we could knock out a couple walls and we could move things around and sort of update the whole layout, that's exactly what we'll do. But that works fine because you come in the back, you got a little mud room, you got the laundry room right there, closets, and then of course you could shoot right down the cellar. We'll see that when we go over there. But it works real well, right from the 3-season room.
You like my 3-season, huh?
Yeah, I like that.
All right, let's go down to that basement and see what's going on down there. Okay, John? Okay, the reason why I wanted everyone down in the basement, John, was to show the size of the basement and the utilities we have in here. And I really like the natural light coming in. I think you did a great job with the windows there. So why don't you talk a little bit about this huge basement and it's dry.
When we first came down, when we first purchased it, we came down and it was kind of finished, but this area where we're standing was finished, and there was tons of stuff in here, junk primarily. Not to mention the fact that it was separated into 3 rooms. This area where I'm standing, 1 room over there, and then the back corner, the back quarter was sectioned off as well, which was primarily where the furnace used to be, the hot water heater, tools and storage and things like that. It was, and plus we had, as I mentioned, we looked at the mold situation, because if you'll remember, I told you we had a hole in the roof coming down on this floor right here, and of course it sort of spread throughout the whole house. That was a big concern of ours. But at any rate, all the walls were studded out, and we actually had to tear all the walls out, all of the drywall and paneling that was on here, and there was actually ceilings here in this finished section, semi-finished, and over here. So the whole idea was to just gut it out completely. And then, of course, paint it, make sure it was all dried up. There is a French drain here, which is a good thing. We have never seen any evidence of high water table or anything like that, but we do have a French drain into a sump pump. And actually, if you can see here, it's just interesting. I said, we did have to replace some of these floor joists. This is all new lumber. You could pretty much tell by looking at it. Some of them were old. So we had some deteriorated structure. We did replace the steps. You know, they were an old, typical basement steps. We went with these, and by the way, these are going to get cleaned up and painted. It's on our punch list. That's an item to come. We opted to go with, this is an interesting thing, because on the windows, you could see we did the glass block with the vent to open for air as a different sort of way of going about doing it. We thought we'd try that, so that's what we have in all of the windows, the glass block. And we have a half bath over here. The toilet was already there, so we figured whenever you have an opportunity to have a toilet, you can take advantage of it. So we kept the half bath down here. So, you know, that's what we had. It may very well be, you know, you could finish this off easily.
I think it'd be probably pretty easy to finish off.
Yeah, and it would be a big plus.
Definitely a big plus.
Plus?
Oh, yes.
That's good for us. Well, I want to hear it. Okay, so here in the basement you can see the furnace, which is energy efficient.
I did just check. It's 92 something.
Okay, great. And the on-demand hot water here, which I think is a real plus.
And plus, it's a new service, by the way. It's back there in the corner. We had to do new 200 amp service, and because we gutted the entire structure, we put a new service in, and we rewired it as we always do, and we put the data package in, phone, you know, for cable TV in every room, and also phone. I believe we just have in the master, and then one located in the common kitchen living area. But all new ductwork. Everything is pretty much brand new. All of the mechanical systems, doors, windows. So we have
so like all
great
our
basement.
So like all our NSP homes, most of it is brand new.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Where else can you go into an established neighborhood and find a new house?
That's what it is. It's rehabbed completely.
Okay. And Carol, you're going to be putting this house on the market very soon.
Yes, today.
How can they get a hold of you if they need to see the house?
They are more than welcome to call my office. My number is 235-6440, and I'll be more than happy to set the appointment up.
Okay, and there's also another house, NSP house, in this community for sale also. So hit two houses at one time.
We can go on a tour.
Great. Carol, what's out there in the marketplace for a first-time home buyer or a buyer looking at homes?
As far as financing, there's great programs that are available for first-time home buyers. Little to no money they need out of their pocket. Figure a buyer can get into a property for $1,000, $1,500 out of their own pocket. Great compared to what they would need to rent. And the interest rates are still low, so it's a great time to buy.
That's great. That's great to know. So there are, like I mentioned before, there are two houses. There's other programs and houses out there also with the NSP program. To find out more information, go to nccde.org. That's our homepage for Newcastle County. Scroll down a little bit and you'll see the NSP. It gives you a full details of the products we have out there and the homes. Okay, John, how about if we go outside and say a little bit about the outside?
All right, well, let's talk about it a little bit. As we always do, we did a new roof on this house. All new fascias, all new gutters, and on the gable ends, it is a brick house. On the gable ends, we have all new siding. Windows, as we talked about, are all new. Exterior doors are all new. The concrete was completely redone. The sidewalks in front, the driveway, and the walkway up to the front entry steps and patio there. And I mentioned we had to tear that out completely and do new foundation, new footers for that as well. We put nice new handrails on there, so the exterior is completely redone as much as we can. As you walk around the back, you'll see the shadow box fence around the perimeter of the yard. And of course, our three-season room that we talked about, it needed a lot of structure. I will say that when we looked at it and we decided to close it in, it wasn't all that simple. We ended up having to redo a lot of structural framing there. So that's really got a lot of potential, that room in the back there with the storm door on it. Of course, we did the new HVAC. The house is like all of our NSP homes. It's like new, everything's replaced, and looks great.
It's got a great backyard too.
Nice big
That's a
backyard,
plus.
yeah.
Fenced in.
Privacy, yeah.
It's great. Okay, on behalf of Carol Quattro, thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
being here. John Prokopchik, Norm Spector, thank you for joining us. Newcastle County's Fix Up of the Week.